have to take some action, given the reaction, which is just not in cricket, but it's beyond cricket. It's in politics and so on. They'll have to take. They can't any longer just pull the blanket over their heads. I don't know if the entire Yorkshire board will resign. I doubt that, but I think there will be some resignations, probably of the chief executive, probably of the chairman. I think the chairman is certainly under great pressure.
You know, the question, some of the comments that came out was that actually this wasn't about specific words. It was about the fact that the sport was institutionally racist. Do you agree with that?
Well, what I would say is that there's been, for almost 5 decades, a separation in Yorkshire cricket. When I was looking at Yorkshire cricket, I first started looking in the 70s and 80s. What I found was astounding. I found that the Asian cricketers, and remember, Yorkshire since the 50s have had lots of Asians and Caribbean people come and settle there. They all play cricket, and they were telling me they couldn't get into Yorkshire. And the white cricketers were saying, oh, that's because they don't play in the right clubs. So if you like, there was a sort of Yorkshire type of apartheid system in cricket. And eventually, the Asians set up their own league called the Quad-e-Azam Trophy, named after the founder of Pakistan, Muhammad Ali's Jinnah, which is still going on. And that, if you like, if you look at it now, that still continues. The Asians are still saying they're playing amongst themselves, their clubs don't get into the Yorkshire League, and the white cricketers are saying that's not the case. And if you look back, it was only in 1992 that Yorkshire played its first non-white cricketer. And again, he wasn't somebody born in Yorkshire, born in God's own country. He was actually born in India. He was an Indian cricketer. So if you like, there's this enormous gap that has not been bridged at any time. What Yorkshire's done has made small gestures, if you like. And eventually there have been some Yorkshire-born cricketers who played, Adil Rashid and so on, but it has taken a long time. And these cricketers have never felt, and Rafiq certainly has never felt, that he was part of the system. And therefore, if you like, let's face it, cricket is a game that is played for the whole day. So a lot of players are in the dressing room, on the playing field together. And if they don't mix with people of another culture, they don't actually know how to relate to them.
Yeah, well, actually, on that note, Mihir, I just wanted to read you a few emails that we've had from Robert's emailed us. He said, what's wrong with being called a POM, as in he's equating POM with the P word that was mentioned in the report. Someone else says, boring, total overreaction, typical of today's woke climate. And Linda says, I'm now so fed up with this overplayed topic that I switch off. Like many people, we are fed up to the back teeth with stories dredged up from history to boost media sales. What do you say to that?
Well, all I can say to Linda is she's got to look at her history. The word POM is used, yes, but it is used in a humorous way. The word P that we don't use on television has been used in a way which is vicious and which is an attack. When people have been attacked, people of Asian origin have been attacked, the P word has been used. So it's not a friendly gesture. It's not a gesture meant to provoke humour and meant to provoke fellowship. I myself have gone through racist attacks where the P word has been used. So if I find people using it, then I think, okay, they might want to attack me. They might want to do harm to me. So therefore, you're not going to take that kind guy. You're not going to take it as a pat on the back and an arm round you and saying, come and have a drink with us.
It's not banter.
No, it's not banter. It may, the person using the word may think it is banter, but he doesn't know the history of it. It's like using the N word. You don't know the history of it. And therefore, if you think it is banter, the person who's the word is directed at doesn't think it's banter. He's reminded what has happened in the past to him and to others of that colour when that word is used.
In the report, the other thing I'm hearing is that a lot of people are saying we're not talking about Azim Rafiq's use of the word Zimbo and that is an equivalent to the P word. What would you say?
No, I would say the Zimbo word is something that is used about Zimbabwean. And again, the context is important. The history is important. We mustn't forget the history. We would say, oh, well, this is all old history. Yes, it is old history. But history keeps repeating itself. And therefore, you can't put an equivalent about it. One must see how the word was used, what it was meant for. And therefore, the person to whom the word is directed, he has to judge as to how it is done. And the person who's doing it must be aware. And one of the problems here is that a lot of people who use these words have no idea what these words mean. to the people who it's directed at.
In your mind, what would the club have to do to be able to restore their reputation?
Well, first of all, the club has to stop being in denial. The club, what the club has done, Rafiq made these allegations. They had an investigation, and actually they didn't produce the report. They then had a press release, and then they produced a very, very brief report which didn't give the full story. So what has come out because of journalistic investigations and leaked out. And when that happens, you feel you are covering up. And I think the club has, first of all, to come clean and say, this is what has happened, this is what the report said, this is what we are going to do. Not give the impression that something happened, something really bad happened, but we want to pull the rug over it and pretend it is all right. When you do that, you give the impression you are not taking into account what has happened and you're not coming clean.